Okay, so good to see some other fellow Brits alongside me, and we have Albie, friend, and his dad George. Now, firstly, Albie, I wanted to congratulate you on your recent win, which also got you a ticket to the Grand Final, so well done at the Grand Festival in Kirpen.
Thank you.
So, and it wasn't just you that won a ticket as well, it was two Brits, because we had Jacob Ashcroft there as well. Must have been a good feeling to sort of sweep the tickets from under everyone's noses, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a fun weekend and I enjoyed it.
Now, you've been racing a lot over Europe, and obviously this dad and lad are both with SFR Motorsport, who are back over here with quite a few drivers this weekend. What does it mean for you to be able to race over here apart from just in the UK, Albie?
I like it over here. The tracks are really fun. I really enjoy it.
Right, okay, pass the mic over to your dad because I need to ask some bits from him. George, you, me and Albie, we've known each other for a couple of years now. To see how this young lad has progressed over the last couple of years, I don't think you could be any more prouder if you tried.
No, he's doing really well. He's developing well. Obviously, we're trying to give him as many experiences as we can. He's still young. Racing in the minis, he's one of the youngest drivers this weekend.
Oh, I do have to, because this young man celebrated his 10th birthday earlier on this week.
Yeah,
just 10.
Just 10. So, he's come a long way and he's really improved in the last 18 months. I think obviously racing in the UK against the tough competition you have every weekend there has really benefited him. But then mixing it with the European events we've done and the World Finals last year in Bahrain.
Yes.
Massively, you could see the improvements it did. But, you know, he sacrifices a lot, misses out on a lot, but then gets a lot of good experiences doing the racing as well. And it's working out.
From a father's perspective, whenever he goes through into those tram lines and those lights go out, what are your initial first thoughts? Because I know you're going to be keeping a keen eye on what he's doing.
Usually with Albie, it's don't get a tramline penalty. He loves to get a tramline penalty. I think it's because of his Honda heritage and the standing starts.
Yes.
We still find the rolling starts a little bit tricky. I love the racing. I genuinely don't get worried about the racing. I absolutely hate qualifying. That's when I get nervous. I don't get nervous with the racing at all because that's when he does his stuff. But the qualifying, I hate it.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is that because actually this past weekend, he was in action at Wilton Mill and I was in the commentary box and you were back to standing starts and now it's back all over again. So, Albie, I need to ask you a question. What do you prefer most? Standing starts or rolling starts?
I mean, the standing starts are maybe a bit easier.
Yeah.
But I do prefer the rolling starts because it's faster and more fun.
What has been the biggest learning that you've had to do in going from Honda Cadets, which you've been racing in quite a lot in the UK this year, to coming up, switching between the two? Because that's not easy. Where you go from like a Honda Cadet one weekend, like say at Wilton Mill last weekend, and now here back to karting Genk, and you're back in the tram lines. How easy is it for you to switch your mindset to go, right, I'm not in a Honda, I'm in this class this weekend? Is it easy, or does it take you a couple of tries to sort of like think, well, I'll do some practice runs through the tram lines? What works for you?
I mean, it's the starts are, you don't really get mixed up. It's more just the grip level in Europe is much, there's so much more grip in Europe compared to England.
And you've had some really, really good successes, like obviously with the Grand Festival, but then you are learning as well. So do you find it very easy? So if there's an incident or there's a mistake that you've made, that you recognise it and you sort of like think, right, for the next race I'm not going to do that. You learn from it. You sort of wash it under the carpet and go, right, I need to reset. Is that something you do if that happens during a race?
Yeah, I do it sometimes, but most of the time I don't really share it to anyone else, but I think about it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, okay. George, we'll come back to you. As a dad, you know, you said that, you know, Albie is away from school a lot. You know, his group of friends that he's met over the journey. You know, what are some of the other parents within his circle of friends over at school in the UK? What do they say when, like, you guys come back and say, yeah, we've just won the grand final in Germany? You know, how impressed are they, or do they really sort of like ask you guys questions about what happens?
Well, I think now it's live streamed, so a lot of his mates and the family and friends, they can all watch it. So that's brilliant. When we're over here doing our thing, they can watch him race. So they share in the experience like by that. But the weird thing about motorsport is unless you've done it, it's quite hard to understand it.
Yeah.
It's a unique experience. It's not like playing football or rugby. You have to really, really live motorsport.
Yeah.
So they're very supportive, and they follow Albie and they back him, and they're all enthusiastic about it. But I think it's hard. It's always hard for the kids that go off and are in and out of school a little bit more than others, and that's part of the sacrifices they make. But all the friends and family, they love it. They love watching him, and it's great that you can do it now through all the live streaming things that go on.
And really, before I ask my final question to you both, the experience you guys have had here in the BNL, just tell us from, you know, because we're celebrating our 15th anniversary this year in 2022. You know, he's done a fantastic job all year round. I've been really proud of this young man. Like, he's battled hard with some of the best. You know, there's quite a few drivers out there that he has sent it up the inside without any fear. What has been yours and Albie's thoughts about the BNL being a part of the championship this season?
Well, firstly, it's a very friendly race series, and I really love the format with the two races on the 2 days, because you can have, in Marienburg, we didn't have a very good qualifying. We came back well through the races. So Saturday was good, but the Sunday was really good, and it was its own race event. So that format in the BNL is really nice. It's very inclusive. The organisers are great, and the competition's tough as well. So it's really good. It's a really good series to be part of.
Brilliant. I really like that. So, final question, Albie, you're first. Wet or dry?
Dry.
George?
Dry.
Good. Guys, thank you very much for your time. And Albie, give him hell out there.